Right, a very good morning. You're watching Western Television. This is the Kokoliriko show that comes every Monday to Friday from 7 to 9 a.m. And at 9, you'll be expecting the news in Lugorati with Fete Emmanuel. That will be at that time. And that is best for the Lugora speakers, by the way. My name is still Dramadu Frederick, and there's a lot that will be unpacking on this day. Today is another feast day for the teachers now, and we'll be having a lot to share with them in the subsequent hours. But first of all, let's move to some of the stories that are making headlines in the region, but also those that are away from here. Remember, yesterday in Maniokolo district, there was the Children's Council, and it was a serious one that involved a lot of issues that came out from that council. Remember, yesterday the children petitioned the district council over the injustices that happened within the communities amongst the children. And this, the core perpetrators are government and the parents, and these have been really the bigger issues that have been there. And inside the petition, some of the issues that have been highlighted include the issues to do with financing the children ventures. Remember, there are so many activities that children do by themselves. You have these world days of against child sacrifice. You have these days for the girl child, and so many other days that we celebrate here, but there's nothing organized for the children. And you have these other human rights breaches against the children. Talk about corporal punishment, talk about child labor, talk about defilement, rape, and so on that exists. And also you have the child-to-child sex, which also is very rampant. And remember, there were a lot of issues to do with teenage pregnancies that were highlighted in the recent report of Uganda Demographic Health Survey report. Remember, that report was disseminated from September this year, and key on it was Mariokolo actually performed higher, okay, in terms of actually the situation of teenage pregnancy in Mariokolo was so worse that it was above the average for West Nile region. Remember, West Nile region was really having that percentage of 22, but Mariokolo came 23rd, and that was so huge. That means the situation in that district is bigger than what would look at in a regional perspective. But also the country has 21%. That means West Nile, Mariokolo are all greater than the whole country, and that is another thing that we need to interest ourselves into. But also, if we move to some of the issues that were highlighted, the Department of Probation and Welfare Office in that district only has 2 million Ugandan shillings that has been budgeted for the whole department. The department that runs without a vehicle, a department that runs without a bicycle, a department that has structures up to the grassroots that are not functioning. You have the secretaries for children affairs at LC1 level. These are people who do not know what they're supposed to do. And you have so many of these issues that are arising from communities, but you find that many times these people do not take keen interest in addressing some of those issues. And away from that, coming to Arua City, you realize that the welfare of many of the workers who are working at the compost site have not been catered for. You have the issues to do with the attires they put on, the gadgets that they use to turn the manure, to turn the garbage, and also sorting. And remember, there are so many people who are there to sort those garbage, and there are plastics. There are those that can decompose, there are those that cannot decompose. So it is sorted by human beings. These human beings have complained about delay in payment of their salaries, but also little pay. That is always the debate around there. Remember, this country has ever had those challenges of people complaining about pay rise, and this does not only affect doctors, teachers, scientists, and these arts teachers also, but you have these other categories that are not catered for. Talk about secretaries. Recently, we saw local governments saying that those who will be recruited the first probation time, they should be paid 1.7 million. And then those who have at least passed the probation, should start earning from 2.5 and above. So that means there's also something that is not going right. And this is where we'll be thinking whether the pronouncements to enhance the salary of the scientists was right. Was it approved? Was it in a chronological order? Was it something in consultation with the people? Because now, if you look at our economic growth performance, it is not really something that we should say everyone should be uplifted, because we did not meet the target. We had 5.5% against 6% that we were supposed to achieve last financial year, which we did not achieve. And that is where we have a lot of issues arising from workers being demoralized. People are not paying attention to now service delivery, but people are crying about their welfare issues. And welfare is so paramount that once you make somebody feel comfortable when he's working, he or she will be able to do very well. If you're able to pay the peanuts that you are paying, or you agreed with someone in time, the person will be able to work actively and really participate, give you the whole energy to do all that he is supposed to do. And you have these other categories of people who are there to just advise, okay? But all the advices are okay, but the last thing is your decision. How do you take decisions when issues come just like that? So if we will be having all these petitions all over, we have the local governments already there, we show the other time lawyers, we show police, we show teachers. Now you will see watchmen also coming. And that is another thing that will be also seen. So we need to regulate that sector that is there to really look at the issues of salary enhancement, okay? That department needs to do a lot of things in order to really reconcile people, especially civil servants at work, because I saw the other time drivers rejecting to carry the RDCs, and this really made it worse that it was at a point that people were signing salary, actually fuel returns, okay? The money meant for fuel and so on, and the drivers said, no, we are not carrying you back, because you were inside there doing the meeting, you ate the food, you got the allowances, and now you are signing. For us, we are not signing, we have not eaten. Whom do you think can carry you? So that was the point when I saw some of the RDCs dipping their hands in their pockets and paying cash, and it was the first time. So we need to care about the people we work with. Otherwise, the issues of bodyguards shooting their generals and so on will exist if we cannot care about people who are also providing services to us. These are others who have families who are also there responsible for their families. So if somebody is able to work for 1 full month or 2 months or 3 months and you cannot pay those monies you agreed that you'll be paying, it will be so unfortunate that you have those results. Because I didn't expect even drivers to complain. I thought it used to be the gate man who will be complaining. But now if the drivers are also complaining that they are sidelined from feeding, also even allowances and so on, next time, if you are moving with them, please take care of them. Make sure that their welfare is accommodated. Many other issues are happening in the region. We have in the Yumbe district, there were issues to do with the road network. Complaints are coming about this, and so many of the councillors have threatened that once the money that is said to be released by the finance ministry by 6th of this month, once it comes, if it is not well appropriated to the road sector, they will not allow any council sitting, and that's their stand now. So we're waiting to see if really the monies will come, because we saw the letter dated 6th, okay? That 6th, that is the deadline of warranting all these monies to local governments. So we hope people will be able to get salaries, because we saw local government officials yawning and so on, and it was so miserable that this was a very responsible officer who was yawning seriously and told me that, man, I've missed salaries for 3 months and start counting from June. up to now, and that is very, very serious. So he said he's waiting for the money, and I hope the welfare will be improved. That is it, and let's take a break. When we come back, we'll be having guests from Uganda National Teachers Union, and this will be deliberating on the issues of the welfare of the teachers, and specifically the issues to do with the Teachers' Day. Okay, it is their day, and all of us are proud that we came through the hands of teachers. And there are so many statistics that are so miserable and so threatening that in the near future we may not have teachers, because people are running away from the profession because of the issues associated with welfare, and that is UNESCO for you. So they have done it, the groundwork. We want to hear the experiences of the teachers, and also want to share with them what they have planned for us on this day, and that's when we'll be coming back from the break. Thank you.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region. West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
A brand new Global Star TV with StarTimes Inside Technology. New TV innovation with an inbuilt decoder that connects you to both StarTimes antenna and satellite signal. With StarTimes Inside Global Star TV, you can enjoy over 300 local and international channels, 1 month StarTimes highest bouquet for free, automatic system update, more benefits, more affordable. StarTimes Inside Global Star TV is available in all StarTimes branches and dealers countrywide. StarTimes Inside, entertainment inbuilt.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, welcome back from that commercial break. You are still watching the West Nile Television Kokoliriko show that we have here every Monday to Friday. And remember, today is the World Teachers Day. And that's why we have so many people really talking about teachers. But we want to hear from the teachers. We don't want to hear from other people. Today we want only the teachers to talk their issues and really share with them. That's why this platform is there. Really, West Nile TV, we have catered for the teachers. I must really appreciate if the teachers cannot appreciate, and that's one thing we'll be really dedicating this day for them. And with me, I have teachers from the leaders of UNATU of Arua City General, and I have Philip Wantama on my left. Okay, Wantama, you're most welcome to West Nile TV studios.
Thank you very much, Frederick. Good morning, viewers.
Okay, on the other side, I have Chandia, who is also one of the teachers and also in the executive of UNATU Arua City. You're most welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, listener.
Okay, that is it, and we'll be moving on with this guest. We will not have any other addition, because if we were to add, there will be these other people who will want to really come in. So we don't want to dilute that discussion. And let's go straight to the theme of today's day, and also what have you people prepared for the day before we go into other issues. Maybe let me start with Philip, and let's see, because you're in the cooperative where that we have never seen many times, because we see most times teachers disorganized on the compound. Sometimes you realize that this is a teacher when he's moving with a stick. Okay, so we want to hear from you. What have you planned for today, and how do you intend to celebrate this day?
Thank you very much, Frederick. Thank you, viewers. If you want to see any smart person, is the teacher. The teacher's code of ethics is very clear about the teacher's way of dressing. You know, there are people in the profession that must be smart because they deal with society. The teachers are one. We are very grateful, first of all, because today is International Teachers Day, and the global team is the teachers we need for the education we want. The global imperative to reverse teacher shortage. We are aware that in Uganda, teaching profession is one of the professions that manufacture not only also Uganda but the whole world. The human capital is prepared by the teachers. Whether you're a lawyer, whether you are a teacher, whether you are a musician, even a journalist, we're grateful. When you look around here, you will see the teacher's mind in this studio.
Okay.
So
that's good. That's good. Okay,
that's why when we are saying it is the teachers we need for the education we want, and the global imperative to reverse teacher shortage. When you go to the classroom situation and to the schools, the reverse is the true. In Uganda, we have many learners in school, right from primary up to secondary. And above all, we have a very important program of the government, that is universal primary education and the universal secondary education. These are programs of government that are implemented by the teacher. But when you go to the classroom, when you go to the schools, it is the reverse. We have still teacher shortage because in the schools you find one teacher are still taking very many subjects. You find a teacher teaching 2 to 3 classes. A case in point in the school where I am teaching, we are only 9, and we have around 500 learners. And 9 of us, out of 9, we have 2 who are administrators. So I happen to be the 3rd in command as a senior education assistant.
So they want to be there in the office.
Not really in the office. Not really. Not really. But you find us all spread teaching. You find a teacher of P1 teaches P1, P2, part of subjects in P3. Then you also find a teacher of P3, P2 teaching P3, some part subjects in P4. That kind of thing. Meaning we have teacher shortage that needs to be addressed. When you also go to secondary, we now know that because of the USE, the Universal Secondary Education, we have many learners in secondary school. And above all, check the crisis that has been created, especially in terms of the salary increment. This has caused a lot of problem. Many teachers wish to go away. And if you go now on the ground, you try to ask a teacher, are you willing to continue? None of them will say, I am willing. Meaning there is already a problem that has been created vis-a-vis the salaries that we get. Because the sciences, the salary for the sciences has been enhanced, leaving the arts away. So this alone has created a teacher shortage.
Okay,
And
we want to understand, maybe has the salary of the science teachers in primary also been enhanced?
No.
Let me hear from you, because
You
those
see-
are science teachers. Yes.
this is where you see it is a bit contrary. For the primary sector, the teacher teaches everything. Actually, when you look at the primary school teachers, they are also scientists, because science starts not only in primary, right from nursery. You see, the concepts of science are taught in primary, in nursery, in primary, and it continues in secondary. Meaning the teacher who is in primary is a scientist. And you will find that the salaries for the teachers who are teaching sciences in primary is not enhanced. Government has only taken side to increase the sciences, the salary for the teachers who are in the secondary sector and other tertiary institutions. And this alone, as I said, has created a teacher shortage, because not all are willing to teach in the schools. So this is a big challenge for us, and that is why today we are saying, as we are celebrating this Teachers' Day, we are trying to appeal to the government through the global team that there is need for us to reverse the teacher shortage that we are having in the teaching profession.
Okay, let me go to Mr. Chand here. Recently, government phased out PTCs, 22 of them countrywide, and this is where teachers are manufactured. Right now, if you look at the quality of the teachers that we have in this country, majority of them cannot express themselves, and the reason why you see debates are not being really conducted in these schools, because teachers fear that sometimes these children may be a threat to them. You understand? To control the debate, it becomes hard for the teacher. Even the teacher is one of the persons who has been run away from debates in primary. In some of the schools, we have seen these experiences. Maybe who has created the teacher shortage, and what do we expect in the near future?
Thank you, Frederick. The issue of the teacher shortage started a little bit after 2000. But let me go back in time. In 60s and 70s, the teachers were respected, and people would choose to go to the TTC just because they wanted to become what the teacher was. Because the teacher, first of all, was presentable. The teacher was fully prepared for his job. The teacher was well paid. The teacher, in fact, was everything in the community. And two, when you wanted to become a teacher, you must have been that cream. What do I mean? You must have got first grade in P7, in junior, in order for you to become a teacher. Because a teacher is the brain of the nation. A teacher is someone who handles life, who handles behavior, who handles the character of the child. This is the person who will make you what you are supposed to be. So the teacher was somebody who will have been, who will have wanted to become a teacher and will have performed very well in the primary school or in the secondary school. Now, mid-80s, you know, we had so many wars. From 1981 to 1986, there was this NRA Bush War. Many services were affected. The government then will not attend to teachers as expected because it was so much involved in war. So, now after the war, after the takeover, when Museveni took over government, there were hardly any teachers, many teachers who had remained in exile. So there were very few teachers, mid-80s and late 80s, even up to 90s. So who were picked to come to train, to be trained as teachers. These were failures. I want to tell you, one of the teachers I started teaching with, when I looked at his O-level paper, he only passed the 2 papers. This was English and Geography,
That justifies the statement why teachers are running away from debates.
Exactly. So, these were the kinds of people whom they trained as teachers, mid-80s and early 90s. Now, what do you expect from this teacher who failed in O level? What will this teacher give to the child in class? See, this is the problem. Now, after this, in 90s, people started coming in, and they were coming to join TTCs as last resort. After having failed to be taken for any other training anywhere, they will say, okay, TTC. Why will they run to the TC? One, they will be easily picked. Two, TTC by then was paying very low fees. So somebody will opt to go to the TTC because he knows, or she knows, that she will succeed. There was not much payment in that kind of training. So imagine what sort of teachers were trained during this period. Even up to late 2000, I may say, around 2002, 3, 4, 5. You know, we had TDMS. TDMS was...
TDMS is what? Teacher
Management Development Systems. This was a kind of training for those who will not go for is it in service?
Yeah.
Those who will
go for pre-service.
Who will not go for pre-service. These others will have to remain teaching as UT and come in for instructions, and that they were training as teachers. So, what kind of teachers were these? Again, you will even expect some failures among those who did TDMS. So, Uganda's teachers' problems have gone with the wars and with the government. Number 3, why is the shortage now? We are worried because the teacher enhancement, teacher motivation has been very poor. Because of this poor motivation, I am telling you, those of us who became teachers because we had nothing apart from this are regretting why they are there. So you find they will want to do things their own way. A little time in class, a little outside. A little outside, a little inside. So this has caused the problem. I am telling you today, if you ask a teacher, will you let your child become a teacher? He'll look at you and say, maybe there's something wrong with you. I am suffering here. See the way I'm struggling with life. I've even failed to pay my children in good schools. Even struggling to pay my child in the university. You want my child again to go to suffer like me? No way. So they rather take their children to the technical schools than to the TTC.
Okay.
Or than to a teacher training. So this is going to be a very big problem in the near future. We're already aging. We don't have a lot of years to serve the government. Who will serve after us? Frederick, this is a very big problem now. Number 4, if you look at how the teachers are motivated or served, when you look at our sisters, the sisters and brothers, the nurses, they are built accommodation. And they even say this accommodation is not fit for them according to their standard. Okay? But for the teacher, they say your salary is enhanced. Your housing allowance is there, your transport allowance is there, your health allowance is there. Everything is in that little money. The government provides no accommodation for the teacher.
Okay, maybe you said there are some provisions of allowances that teachers are entitled to. Maybe if you could go deeper into this, how are these allowances broken in terms of percentages? How much is for what? How much is for what? For instance, let's look at your salary. Yes.
They have not come clear. They just call it enhanced salary. Enhanced. They have not given us the percentages. By the way, Frederick, I'm telling you, out of the 480 net pay, my net pay, if I fall sick now, that net pay cannot manage paying my hospital bill. That's one thing that you should know. And when I happen to die now, I am telling you, my department will not even buy a coffin for me. Never. The education department will not buy a coffin for me. See, these are the things that discourage even people from becoming what you are. And when a teacher dies, I'm telling you, the education department of the district will never even give a vehicle to take your corpse home. You will have to struggle. Your people will have to struggle. See, this is the government you are serving. This is the department you are serving.
Teachers die when they are annoyed. Is that what you are saying?
Really?
Even the dead bodies are not, because it's not carried by a government vehicle. All right.
No, even your DU is not there when you are buried. That's your own funeral.
Okay, yeah. Let's move to Philip to understand some of these issues. There's this issue to do with welfare. I know I want to reserve it for the next hour, but let's move to specifically addressing the issues of the quality of the teachers. Do you think that our PTCs that are remaining are doing enough in nurturing or bringing the young people to fit into your shoes? Because some of you are aging up, some of you want to retire, some of you want to become commissioners at some point and so on. And there are so many positions. By the way, for a retired teacher, you can fit anywhere in the community, in the civil society and so on. But are we having it as a country enough to prepare the young generation to become teachers? And in terms of the quality, how do you gauge us?
Okay, thank you very much, Frederick, for this question. You know, quality is a very good parameter that is actually needed when we want to achieve an objective. When you look at what is happening right now, first of all, that is the reason why government has come in to phase all the PTCs. I mean, part of the PTCs. Out of 46, the 23 have been phased off.
22.
The 22
yes.
have been phased off. It is because of the Uganda National Teacher Policy that has come on board in order to enhance quality assurance, in order to prepare the generation that will wish to become teachers to have really quality in the teaching profession. But now, just like my comrade has discussed and has said, given the years that have been where the teacher from the exile, where up to now there has been a lot of compromise in the quality of the teacher training. Why do I say so? When you go to some of these PTCs, the facilities that were needed to train the teachers were not there. And the tutors themselves are also demoralized. You see, they were demoralized, and as a result, it compromised the quality. But now with the National Teacher Policy, this has become something we need to appreciate the government about. That from now on, I know we shall be able to get the quality of the teachers that we need in the teaching profession.
So you underwent an institution that did not have all the required materials or to bring you out. How were you able to really become a teacher?
Yes, you know, this depends on the PTCs that we have. Most of us who joined the teaching profession, I mean the PTCs, after the war, all right? Of course, not every student who was admitted was just a dropout, as I said, but some of us, we went to the teaching profession because we needed to be a teacher. We needed to be a teacher. And during our time, that was when they brought in the issue of the quality. I remember if you did not get 6 passes, you will never join teaching profession. That was when the measurement they did. But before that, it was that way. And we received maximum training. Actually, it was from our set that after the war that improvement in the quality assurance was observed. So as of now, the government has come up with the National Teacher Policy, and it has already been implemented. You will know that from the effect of last year, the PTCs and NTCs have tended to be teacher training institutes. No longer now PTCs as such. And they will be turned to be degree award institutions in order to address the issue of quality assurance in teaching profession.
But there are so many people who have degrees, and you also wonder the quality of the degrees people have, because after the degree somebody comes out and the quality of what he does is not matching to what we will think this person went to do a degree course, but also a diploma holder is doing it better. Don't you think this teacher policy, national teacher policy, has not addressed certain things right?
That is why they want to bring in all the TTCC to become degree award institutions in order to prepare the quality of the degrees the teachers would want to get in. And above all, there is also that provision, like most of us who have acquired the degrees will need to go back to have refresher courses at least for some months in order to come out to teach. Meaning that the trend of events that are coming, then there's going to be quality assurance. But the question here is, are they prepared? Is the government prepared in order to handle this? Because since this has been pronounced up to now, it has never taken off. It is 5 years coming, and right now we have not seen this taken off. So that's where the challenge is. Issues, good ideas are brought in order to help education, but implementation is very low. That's where the challenge is.
All right, we'll be coming back after a short break, and we'll be still continuing with the issues to do with the the World Teachers Day. And remember, the team was clearly spelled out about the issues of the teachers, the insufficient teachers that will be having in the near future. Remember, this is coming because people are not now appreciating that job, because of issues to do with welfare, issues to do with now remuneration, and also the issues of the new policies that are coming. Remember when they said we need all teachers to have degrees by 2028? Is it? Yes. By 2028, we should be able to have all degrees among the teachers. So it demoralized so many people. People are now on border seriously, and others have moved to other departments in this country. And that is where we are, and we're here to see if this can really materialize. But that is in good faith that all the teachers should be having at least a better qualification to ensure that they impart very good knowledge, because these are knowledge givers. If we cannot handle them well, they can give wrong knowledge that may worsen the situation, or it may also underrate us as a country in terms of development, because we have a human resource that is not well mentored, that may not really take us so long. Let's take a break. Thank you.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
A brand new Global Star TV with StarTimes Inside Technology. New TV innovation with an inbuilt decoder that connects you to both StarTimes antenna and satellite signal. With StarTimes Inside Global Star TV, you can enjoy over 300 local and international channels, 1 month StarTimes highest bouquet for free, automatic system update, more benefits, more affordable. StarTimes Inside Global Star TV is available in all StarTimes branches and dealers countrywide. StarTimes Inside, entertainment inbuilt.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, welcome back from that commercial break. We're still here with teachers discussing the issues of these teachers in this country. Remember, teachers are the brain winners of the nation in terms of development, in terms of nurturing the labor for employment sector. Whether a boda rider, whether what, he has to learn from somebody who has to teach him. Okay, but we have those other ones who are professionals, and those are the teachers that we're celebrating, not quacks. Okay, as long as you have registered as a teacher and you have passed through the vigorous processes to become a teacher, we honor you, we congratulate you. I remember I used to tell my colleagues that I was one of the persons who passed in the first position in P5, and my teacher told me, you guy, you are not going anywhere. You are not going to P6, you are going to remain in P5. And that was why? Because I did not pass English. And that was the reason. And I understood it. I had to remain behind, and that's why at least I'm making a constructive sentence that can make somebody understand what is happening. And I still continue to celebrate that teacher. Much as I passed through so many teachers, that is the only one I can remember. Why? Because she had impact in me, and that was a she, by the way. And those are the things we want you to share with us. You can use the social media platforms, the Facebook, and also the YouTube channels. We have also Twitter that we are live on, and you should be able to really text your comments in relation to the welfare of the teachers, in relation to what your teachers have contributed in your life. Okay, you have that teacher that you always celebrate. Today is the day. What are you buying for your teacher? What are you celebrating your teacher of? What are you remembering your teachers of? There are some people who, because they did not really do the best in the schools, they were suspended, and up to now, they have continued to hone those teachers in their hands and in their hearts and shown, and that is where they have gotten it wrong. There are teachers who are supposed to discipline you and make you a better person. There's no teacher who wants to ruin the life or the future life of a young child or a person he or she is supposed to mentor. But we have those teachers who, because they come from the same place, they want to teach in the schools that are near their homes so that they are able to go to do their things at home. But we have those who become notorious to the administrators. I know they are there. And that's why in the recent report that was released by Arua City, we saw 54% of the teachers did not pass, okay, that assessment. And the assessment was so serious that it even went ahead to understand how the administrators are doing their work, including the head teachers. The head teachers were not monitoring the teachers. The teachers are not having the plans, okay, the schemes of work. Some of the teachers give assignments, they don't even mark. You see those things, they come. And what are the factors underlining these kind of performances? And that's where we want to come from. And I still have the guests. I have Mr. Tandea, who is here, is also from UNATU, Arua City. I also have...
from the district.
Yeah, from the district.
Yeah.
I'm so blessed, okay. I thought all of you were from Arua City. Okay, that's good. And then I have Philip Andama from Arua City. I hope I'm correct now.
Yes. Yeah.
That is good. So that is the voices of the guests. And let me have Andama, you straight away. This report was published just last month. It was pertaining the head teachers' performance, and not really the teachers generally, but the head teachers. And it highlighted some of the issues that the teachers are doing under doors. Talk about the issues of the new system that has been brought for evaluating the attendance. Teachers go there, they sit with the head teachers and say, let's agree, this week we are not going to sign. We don't charge the phone. That is the thing. And they say, no, there's no electricity. They say there's no internet. And those are the things, explanations they are giving. Is this true? Let's start from there.
Thank you, Frederick. When you look at the new system that has been brought, that is the teller. I would say Uganda has not been prepared for a high level of technology. We have no infrastructure on the ground in order to enhance all these new changes that are coming. Why do I say so? We have received the teller machines to monitor the teachers' presence in the schools. But the biggest challenge that I've seen is the power. Not all schools in Uganda are connected to power. Not even solar, not even a battery. But now when you look at the teller, like today, if it has not been charged, definitely it will not be used for monitoring the teacher's arrival.
So it is not like the teachers sit and agree that
they don't
charge
agree.
it this week.
When the phone is not charged, it will not be used.
Okay.
When there's no internet, it will not be used. You see this? These are the challenges we are having. Now, what some of our supervisors have forgotten is that these are man-made machines. They also have their own era. I want to give this thing 5 years and see the impact. That is one challenge. 2, the teller machine, being a machine, at times does not also take the photograph. Like when you don't have light, your face is not seen it does not reflect light. It will never capture you.
So those who have gloomy faces will not be registered. You must smile before.
Not really being gloomy, but the issue is when there is no reflection of light on your face, it will not capture you.
Okay.
And once you fill in the data, maybe the number, all of us have been given PIN numbers. That was the first step. And it will not also take your PIN number. Now, sometimes you may arrive to school, it does not capture you. Now, what parameter did they use to say that 54% of the teachers are not monitoring teachers when this machine has its own challenge due to the environment and the circumstances we are in?
Okay.
So as Uganda, what would be my only recommendation? My only recommendation would be, 1, to connect all schools to power, either solar or electricity. If we were to go digital, we should have done that as a government. I remember one time I attended an international conference in Kenya, our neighboring country. But then the president of His Excellency Uhuru, when he came to open, he told us in his plan before he leaves office, he wants to connect all schools to electricity. And they had promised to give laptops to all the children in Kenya. What about the situation? What do we give to our children as a government, as an institution, as a council, if I may say? What are we prepared to give before we conclude that yes, the head teachers and teachers are not head teachers are not monitoring teachers and teachers are not doing their work? You see, so we really need to reverse the whole system. That's why when we are talking about reversing the global imperative to reverse teacher shortages, this has encompasses very many things that we need to look at as a government and as a country. If we are real to have quality education, which is modern, which is digital, yes.
So teachers are still believing that the traditional system of doing work is still good for Uganda. Is that what you are saying?
Uganda is not prepared.
Okay, we have seen Chris Baremu, the Minister for ICT, really saying that with technology, Uganda has gone far, and we are continuously trying to see that we go digital. And now this is the modern era. We may not really stick so much into the traditional ways, but gradually we can move to the technology. Okay, now let's not really so much look at the chalk itself. Let's also start looking at the projector at some point. That is one way we can do better. And let's move to the district chairman, Mr. Chandea. Let me have the experience of the district now that you are away from the city, and that is the experience of the city, that sometimes also electricity is not there. And now that you are from a rural district, what is the perspective? How are you monitoring the teachers? Remember, on Sunday, there was a publication after the Minister for education and sports, and Ms. Janet Museveni, highlighted that the country has lost 1.5 trillion in to pay teachers who are not in classes, and this has been monitored from that gadget, which is there to really for you to sign in and out. Because now you said that there's no power in Arua, and you have not been recognized. You have been actually counted as one of the ghost workers who has been eating government money for free. Maybe what would you say in relation to this, and what is the experience in the district?
Thank you very much. This is first of all, I want to say Arua city is a rural city. If you are talking about the city, maybe you are talking about the central division. But when you look outside, it's just a rural area like the Arua district.
Okay.
But one thing I want to say is, this issue may be a misinformation, a misunderstanding, because this gadget here, for example, I want to tell you, the gadget in my school worked for a very short time, has broken down. They have repaired it twice. It's not working. Right now, as I'm talking, it's not working. So I think we should be among those absentee teachers.
Those eating the 1.5 trillion.
Exactly.
That's why I'm saying I've given this thing 5 years.
so this kind of information, if they are getting it from the gadget, I am sorry. That is a misplaced information. Otherwise, on ground, teachers are there. Okay. They are serving. I don't know when I last clocked in and out because the gadget is down.
You have even forgotten.
I've forgotten about it. For us, we sign in our books. If they could come to check the arrival books, then they will know whether the teachers are there or they are not there. They need a little some time to come to work on this. 2, there are very few schools in my district, in Arua, that run along the electricity lines, that have electricity at school. Very few of them.
The highway.
Those ones which are on the highway and those which are along the lines of electricity. There are very few of them. But the rest that are inside depend on these other schools, or they come to charge in town. Imagine how long will this one take? You are charging in town, you go back, you used for 2-3 days, the battery has run down, you need to go to look for a place where you can charge. So this is a very big problem that the government did not see. You just bring a gadget, knowing very well this consumes electricity, and the electricity is not there in the school. You expect this machine to work 24 hours. It's very unfortunate. So when they are counting on that machine, they are giving fake information. They are just, they are criminalizing the teachers for no good reason. We are there at school. If there are absentees, if there are kind of absences, they happen just on very few occasions. The way I see it in my school, if a teacher is a problem, he first enters class, rushes for that problem, comes back to class. That's what happens at school, sincerely. If there are those perpetual absent teachers, the percentage is minimal. There are not very many of those teachers who are not in class.
Okay, recently the president of this country, His Excellency Yoweri Museveni Kaguta, came to West Nile and explained that he doesn't want to associate with these issues of charging PTA funds and these foundation funds and so many things. Those charges that you share, the other one is for desk repair, for what, and so many of them. You have foundation body, you have PTA, you have board of directors, so many things that are aligned in these institutions. And he said this should stop. And we have seen the impact of this already mentioned in so many of the schools. Not only in Arua City, not only in Arua District, not only in Terego. I've moved to like 5 districts in this region, where I've found majority of the teachers are taking up the classrooms for their accommodation. Is that the same experience in your districts, in your city? And what is triggering this? Besides the capitation grant that is given to these schools? This is the question to all of you. Anyone can start it.
Thank you very much, Frederick, for raising this question.
Yes.
You know, government makes some excited statements, political statements that sometimes does not look at the side effect. When I was in primary, I remember the PTA was very strong. And the PTA would take responsibility. First of all, charge PTA funds, payable ones. And the PTA fund would be used for building houses for the teachers. And the schools were able to house their teachers. I remember in my primary education, most of the teachers who taught me were in the teachers' quarters. But now if His Excellency comes to say that it doesn't need PTA, BOG, funds, and so on, then that's where the challenge is. That's where the challenge will be coming. Look at the capitation grants that are given. There are daily utilities in these schools. And these capitation grants may not be sufficient enough. You see, may not be sufficient enough, and it needs some fund in order to scaffold. That is the PTA fund. When we want to get quality, but the quality comes with the investment. It comes with the investment, it comes with the cost. And that's one thing that the government should be able to take. Some of the, especially the PTA funds, when you look at the UP policy guideline, we have 10,500, which was put by government. And that is what they collect from the schools, from the children, from the parents. Not for nothing, but to scaffold the capitation grant that at times delay to come. See this. So when now it comes up to say, okay, it doesn't need this. To me, I see it as a political statement. But on ground, in order to have quality, we need more funding. Actually, our appeal to government on this big occasion of Teachers' Day is to that there must be increased funding. That's one. Two, when you look at the funding of education system in the entire East African region, Uganda is the least. A small country, Rwanda, funds education more than Uganda. You see, we need to do more. Now, what parameters have been put in place in order to help to avoid challenges that may arise due to lack of fund? This is a question government should be able to ask. So our appeal is here is to make sure that government gives more funding to education sector in order to ensure quality.
Okay, maybe you answer it.
Yes.
Yes.
2026 is just at the doorway. We are not very far. So these kinds of statements are there to drive people's minds to 2026. A few days ago, I went to a private school. And when I saw what was in the private school and what I saw in my primary school, I said, we are 100 years behind. You see,
which one was established earlier? Was it the private school or
the private school was just yesterday. Those were schools of the 60s and even 50s. Now, the government says, I don't want PTA. And yet they want us to go digital. We should go to using these gadgets, the projector, the what. In a term, my school receives about 5 million shillings, which caters for everything in the school. But we will never go to the staff quarters, if anything. If our water breaks down, water system breaks down, by the end of the term, this money is no longer there. It is all used up. If a child falls sick, there is no first aid for this child. See, now, if we want our schools to develop, the government will rather say, I am giving these parents, please contribute for the better of the education of your child. The government cannot educate this child 100%, not Uganda, because our taxes, our income, like our GDP is so low that the government cannot do all these things. So, you remember, in 1997, when UP was introduced, the people of the West and the South told Mzee, yes, this is a very good program, but we shall never stop paying our children in school because we want our teachers to perform. We want to add something for the teachers so that they teach our children well. But in West Nile, our people took it 100%. We don't want to pay. that is the struggle we're having even up to today. You ask for 1,000 shillings, it will take 3 months to pay 1,000 shillings. So that is why even education in West Nile has gone to the dogs. It is only private schools that are performing, because the parents invest heavily in their children. Now the ones that are taken by the government, people say, after all, it's not our business. Therefore, if the government says we don't want parents to pay, this is the way of killing education, especially in the rural areas. Nobody will care anymore. Leave alone the teacher, save the teacher. The teacher will try but will not succeed. So this is, again, a problem that the government is going to bring for our people, to kill education so that we will never even run very far in education. It will only be the few privileged ones who are able to take their children to private schools that will manage this system, not the UP schools.
Okay, the education in West Nile is going to the dogs. That's one thing we are hearing. I don't know if the dog owners are also training them skeptically now, because teachers feel like they are not now creating an impact. So I hope the dog owners should take a leaf from there and should start to earn something also, because that is a very serious statement from a teacher. Okay, let's move to the issues that you people want to front on this day to government's attention. What are the issues that you have highlighted that you want government to pay attention in addressing the quality of education challenges in this country? Let me hear from, starting from the city, Mr. Philip.
Thank you very much, Frederick. The issues that we want to push to government to address on this World Teachers Day. One, especially for Ugandan context, is the issue of teacher accommodation. That will help and bring all the teachers within the school premises in order to provide quality education. Number two is the teacher welfare, payment of teachers' salary, and trying to reconsider the rest of the teachers who were left out in the salary structure last financial year.
What's wrong with payment of teacher salary? Is it not?
There are those. Some, yes, we think not that it's not paid, but what we are trying to bring up is the disparity in salary, paying the sciences and leaving out arts. We want the government to come in and pay the teachers equitably as they agreed upon and negotiated for in the last collective bargaining agreement, so that we solve this challenge. Bearing in mind that the increment of the salaries of sciences has already created division between the two. If you go to secondary schools now, leave alone primary, there is a total division. Even a staff room is divided into two. You see this? We have a corner for scientists and we have a corner for the arts. And this is very bad for quality education in Uganda. So
is it not divided for the purposes of understanding your subject?
Not really.
Because if I'm teaching history, I may not want to pay attention to what is happening with the molecules and those things of reproductive system.
But how were they relating before?
Frederick, let me tell you this time.
Yes.
If my gadget was there, I would show you a clip where the science teacher is moving on top of the desk and the art is moving on the floor. You see, where the science is feeding the art with a piece of chicken. First of all, biting and also giving. That kind of thing.
That is a spiritual share.
It is actually a very bad sentiment. So, and it is bad for, because now when you look at performance, we have recently the mock result. Look at the results of the arts, look at the results of sciences. It's appalling. No child will pass examination or tests without the other subject. All the subjects are very important. You see, so we want the government to address this. We want government to pay the degrees that are already in the field. You cannot say we want degree. You are not paying the ones in the field. You see, so we want government to come in and address. First of all, that will act as a motivating factor. Believe me, if the government came in and said, okay, all those who have got bachelor's degrees, next year you will be paid. I am telling you, the PTCs will not be enough. People will pour and they will want to upgrade. That will be a motivating factor, even to have quality education. But this is not done. So somebody goes for degree. I remember there's a doctor in Buikwe. A primary school teacher has studied up to doctorate, but is getting 400,000. And you have not paid that one. Now you want another one. Now what? You see, to me, it's a very interesting thing. Number 4, we want the government to build more infrastructure to decongest classrooms. Both in secondary, in primary and secondary. We want that. And we also want the government to come in and take early childhood fully, because that is where the cream and that's where teaching and learning starts. We want the government to do that. And these are the few things that I feel on this Teachers' Day, government should to come to take them in order to have quality education, in order to have consistency in what we do as far as quality education is concerned in Uganda.
Okay, that is it from Philip Antama, that is the chairperson at Arua City UNATU, and that is all from him, but we'll be moving to the district later on. Let's first take a break. When we come back, we'll be really moving to the issues that the teachers in the district want to also front to the head of state or the leaders in the Ministry of Education and Sports, because they are directly under that docket, and these are the people who can understand really the issues to do with the teachers' welfare, but also the Ministry of Finance is pertinent in this also. That is the body also that is involved in financing. So if it is not second, or it is not told that these are the gaps that exist, it may not really be ready to finance some of those things, and that is very, very critical. The issues that are highlighted here are really true, that are happening on the ground, especially the issues of infrastructure. At least I can attest to that. It has been really countrywide thing that I've seen, that most of the schools, the public schools, have now roofs that are, I don't know which color we can describe them, but now that the good thing is now that mabatis have become those which are colored, they can match at some point now with them, because we used to have those white ones. It will be so bad that you will see another one there with the orange color coming up there, others black, others. So that is the mix of the things, and unfortunately some of the roofs are really not in good state, and also even the walls are not good. The capitation grants have continued to be very little in terms of now the number of enrollment. Okay, the enrollment has seemingly reduced a bit, because some children went out, others married off, others dropped out, others, you know, those things that happen in the communities. They are so bad, and that is where real teachers are coming from. We'll be having the teacher representing the district here to talk about the issues that they have organized to put forth on this day. Let's take a break.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
A brand new Global Star TV with StarTimes Inside Technology. New TV innovation with an inbuilt decoder that connects you to both StarTimes antenna and satellite signal. With StarTimes Inside Global Star TV, you can enjoy over 300 local and international channels, 1 month StarTimes highest bouquet for free, automatic system update, more benefits, more affordable. StarTimes Inside Global Star TV is available in all StarTimes branches and dealers countrywide. StarTimes Inside, entertainment inbuilt.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
We are back from the commercial break. Remember, we have the teachers still in the house. We are discussing about the teachers, the World Teachers Day. Okay, it is a World Teachers Day, so it is commemorated across the world in different countries that have teachers. I don't know if there is a country that does not have a teacher. So that is very, very pertinent that we need to understand what the teachers are going through and also really what they feel they can be best in. And if all the stakeholders work together, how do we make the teachers move and impact knowledge into our children and make sure that really we achieve what we want at the end? Because at the end of the term, people want performance, good one, from the children. As the children go home, they go with the report card that shows that this child has been able to push it to that extent. And you'll be able to go back to the school and understand why this child is not performing or how best he can improve. Let's not really abuse teachers. Teachers used to be respected. When I was in primary, we used to sing some songs that were so interesting. And if I'm to sing it again, I know the learners now may not love it, because if you are supposed to, if you're passing and you have seen a teacher, you're supposed to stop and make a way for the teacher to pass. But nowadays, people push the teachers out. And that is the thing that is not really so good. Discipline has gone down. Really, the cultural aspects, the respect that we used to have as Lugbaras or people from West Nile has gone down. And this is all brought by technology and the little innards that parents are injecting. Mazes government is bringing a lot of programs to make sure that the parents are enlightened. There's little that parents are doing in terms of paying attention to their children, and that is where really teachers face a lot of challenges in handling these learners in classrooms. Let's move to the district, and I have Mr. Chandia, who will be able to really put for us some of the issues. Let me have them cross the curtain, and let's see what you need from parents, what you need from government. Okay, so to make the discussion so good. Okay, let's hear from you. Okay.
Thank you very much. My brother, my comrade has already talked a few things which are cross-cutting.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to add something. If may not go to the central government, can come to the local government.
Okay.
Here I'm talking about like what demoralizes teachers. Mm-hmm. I take an example from the financial year 2021-2022, when teachers of the district missed salaries.
Yes.
Others missed for 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, 4 months.
I remember there were some teachers who were crying at the offices there. Yeah.
Others 2 months. And when they lastly received their salaries, they did not receive their arrears. What am I talking about? Arua has a very bad record of paying arrears.
What are these arrears? What is in that arrear thing?
Arrears is when a teacher misses a salary, for example. This salary that he has not received for some months is supposed to be paid back to him, because that is his thing. He has already worked for it. She has already worked for it. But Arua has a very bad track record of paying arrears of teachers, especially. For example, in 2019, the government paid the arrears of some teachers. Many of these teachers have not received these arrears up to date. I believe in 2021,
how much has they accumulated? Because now you are
I may not be able to tell you the amount that has accumulated. Now, 2021, 2022, those who missed for all those, very few people received the arrears, the rest have not received it. Now, what has become of this? Is the government following? The government gives out money for paying out these teachers' arrears, and then at the end of it, they don't receive it. Where does the money go? See, where does the money go? Nobody explains. Sometimes they display names on the board that these teachers have their arrears. Come to explain. After 2-3 days, they remove the names. You don't know what has happened this money has disappeared. This is what is happening in Arua. Why are teachers being mistreated? Now, I will ask, if the government can really put her ears to the ground, find out this, and pays back that money which may have been swindled by the officials. And if the government doesn't, you know, the teacher's morale is killed. I've worked for 6 months without anything, and you expect me to perform to the climax. So this is something that the government has to know.
Okay.
Two.
So maybe okay. Let's move to parents. What is that you think parents need to do? Because there are so many. They are actually very key in as far as developing the minds of these children is also concerned. Because teachers alone may not do it.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much. In the district, in the rural areas, it's really difficult for us parents to bring our children together, encourage them, so that they can go ahead with education. We have scenarios where a parent will tell a child, whatever you do, I don't have money. You are wasting your time. So the child cannot concentrate in class because he or she knows very well that how much he may try, it is all in vain. So I'm encouraging parents, first of all, to encourage children, not by not telling them what is negative, but always encouraging them even if there is nothing. 2, let the parents really assist these children with the scholastic materials. Can I tell you, in my class, one child comes with a book, and in this one book, he or she writes everything. When a teacher collects these books for marking mathematics, then the child will not write when you are teaching English. You see, it's a very difficult situation where we are. So parents, buy these children books so that they are able to do the exercises. The teachers are able to know the weaknesses of this child. 3, when the school needs some little thing, for example, some little money for buying for examinations, some money for PDF development fund. If this development fund is given, it assists in repairing the teachers' houses. It assists in so many little things that are done in the school, including water, including electricity, including that. So if we pay this, it can help the administrators to plan well for the education of the child. If a parent pays, of course, you know that the parent will be responsible, will want to see that the child does the correct thing. But if the parent doesn't pay any single coin, he will say, after all, I have nothing to do about this. They don't care about the children. The children are the future of this home where they are coming from. Your child will be, is already a foundation for you. If you didn't go to school, tomorrow there should be an improvement on your home. It will be this child. So I encourage parents really to work very hard to see that the education of the child right from the nursery school up to the highest levels is paid for, and they continue to encourage the children. Lastly, in the rural areas, in the city is better, is fair. Even if there is a disco in the city, the school children don't go for it. For them, they go to study. But in the rural areas, in the morning, afternoon, the child in school, in the evening, the child is for a disco. The next morning, he comes to sleep in class.
Doesn't want to sleep with the parents.
The parents don't care whether the children are out or they are inside. So please, parents, stand responsible. See that you watch over your children so that they are not spoiled. When we are talking about early child marriages, when we are talking about early pregnancies, is because of this reckless life that we have let our children go into. So I'm encouraging them that they keep their children well so that the teachers can perform their duties effectively. Thank you.
Okay, that is it. That is it from the teachers, that are their demands and what they think once it is improved, their performance will be so well and better than what we are seeing now. And that is where we are coming from. And that is one way we can easily improve the performance and also at least lift West Nile above some of the regions, okay? Because if we don't do better, then we'll continue to be in poverty. Remember, an educated community is that one that remains primitive, that may not really do much in changing the mindset. Remember, the people who are adapt to changes easily are those who have at least studied. Okay? At least when you tell an educated person, this is where we want to go and that is the return that we will be having, he also may think very fast and will be able to really cope up with whatever you have said. But that one there who has not gone to school, it is very hard for him to change the mind. So let's embrace education. It is very, very important. And I want to ask a general question. This has been witnessed in so many areas that many of these teachers have 2 to 3 wives, okay? Now it becomes difficult to educate their own children. We have seen many of the children of the teachers, not only teachers, but civil servants generally, especially when they are rotated, they're shifted to another school. You leave the first wife at home, you take her to the village, you say, no, there's no accommodation in that new school. And then you get another one, a new catch. And thereafter, you also move with another one. You have so many women and you have so many children that you cannot really afford to do. I was having a conversation with one of the teachers and he told me he has 3 women. And these 3 women have 6 children each. And these 6 children, what he does is he selects. If he has seen a brighter one there with the, maybe it is the second born, he picks that one and pays. Then his target is to educate 4 of them. That means they out of 18, or 18, you will realize that 12 of them will not be educated, or 14 of them may not be educated. Where does that leave the community? People will be asking questions. What has gone wrong? So how are teachers managing this situation? With the meager resources you have, why should you opt for more? And yet you cannot really do something for yourself. Okay, let's move to the city, and we are starting this question with you. I don't want you to tell me how many women you have, but I want you to share with me how you people are able to cope up with the little resources that are given to you to sustain your life and also to make sure that at least you perform in the school, other than deviating away from your professional job. Because there are so many teachers on the streets doing petty works other than really now concentrating on the ideal work they were employed for, because they have overwhelming demands.
Thank you very much, Frederick. You know, the issue of marriage, I would say it is individual difference. If someone chooses to have 3 women, it is individual difference depending on his appetite.
But you cannot educate the children.
What is very interesting here is having 3 women, 18 children for a teacher who earns a net pay of 450,000 is too expensive. My appeal to our comrades is that we really need to stick to the principle of God. 1 wife, 1 man, 1 wife. That would be the best. And they have a manageable number of children. You must bear in mind, the more children you have, the more burden you are going to carry. The more women you have, the more burden you are going to carry. Because at the end of the day, it is you who takes the responsibility of educating these children. So we must really run away from that situation where we have many children, comparing it with the resources that we have. That's 1. 2, having many children, many women, will also take you to another additional responsibility and making you deviate from your professional duty. Because you must struggle in order to make the children that you have to live a better life. First of all, to feed them, to shelter them, to clothe them, to give them clothes, to give them food, and then to give them education. So someone who has 18 children may not be able to give quality education vis-a-vis the resources he or she is having. So
okay, let me just keep you there because we are running out of time. Let me move to Mr. Chandia. Chandia, are the teachers sticking to the principle of God? with the appetite people have as human beings, are they sticking to the profession?
You know, the problem is, as Philip had said, we are made differently, and we have different appetites. Because of this, somebody may eat big food, others eat small. But all in all, individual differences always exist in community.
True.
Many teachers really take to this profession and they keep their code of conduct. And I think they keep their faith by sticking to one. But again, today, if you think you don't want a religion, you think about what you want your family to look like tomorrow. There are those few teachers who have those many women, for sure. And these teachers have not paid their children in school. I've even heard and seen, and it has made me annoyed.
And
when
they don't settle in the school.
See, your friend is saying, my child in university ABCD, my child is in A level, my child is for this course, and for you, you have no child that is in a secondary school, that is in a university, that is doing a training somewhere, and you call yourself a teacher. What are you doing there? Sincerely, I have no kind words for such people. You see, people say teachers take multiple loans. Teachers take multiple loans because they want to pay their children in school. They are not picking those loans for drinking. So, if you see an ugly teacher on the road, don't think this is a drunkard. Don't. You're making a mistake. So, I'm saying, if you don't want to follow your faith, follow what the nature is telling you today. If you have 10 children, as a teacher, you will never manage paying these children very effectively. Never. If you have 2, 3 wives, in fact, you are troubling somebody. It is a sin. Why do you let the other women suffer there and you keep one? See, there was one woman who had 4 children with the man. This was a head teacher. He kept messing around with young ladies and so on. But when he died, he was taken back to be buried with this woman he had rejected. And good enough, this woman paid those children. One of them was already working by the time this teacher died. It's unfortunate. So teachers, really, it is not only for teachers but civil servants. Let us see that we also raise the standard of those other people. West Nile, this is my cry.
Okay.
This is why we are lagging behind. People are working hard, they are paying their children. The children know why they're in school, but in West Nile we are still for strikes for this because we don't have time to tell our children. Don't do that.
Okay, we are 1 minute past the hour of where we are supposed to stop, but let me have the concluding remarks from you people just in 30 seconds. I'm just going to distribute that and I will rule it.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
I want to be strict like a teacher.
Yeah, thank you very much.
If you have come late, they'll beat you and so on. That is where I want to go also. Now, let me start with the Arua City.
Yeah, thank you very much, Frederick. I want to say Happy Teachers Day to comrades. Let us go and enjoy our day. I want to have greetings to teachers who taught me. I still have one, Mr. Dazua Nelson of Bright Horizon. I cherish you, I trust you. If you see me today speak English, I am your handmaid. So I want to call upon the teachers. Let us go and celebrate our day. Even if you don't go to the venue where we're celebrating, but where you are, you should be celebrating. And I want to request all the school administrators, please allow the teachers go. You also go. Go and enjoy the day. Happy Teachers Day to everybody. Happy Teachers Day to the whole nation. Thank you very much.
Right, let me have a red district. Chandia, you should be able to wind up. Yes.
Thank you very much. I want to say greetings to all the teachers in West Nile and the nation at large. I want to greet everybody who has been listening to this program, who has been viewing us. My appeal is, as West Nile, let us rise. We wake up. Let us not continue sleeping. And let us make sure that we also reach other regions. It is shameful to hear that West Nile is the second poorest region in the country. Let us rise above that and become a better region tomorrow. We are rich. Let us ensure that these riches we have should enrich us and we become better people tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay, that is it from my guests, and we'll be really moving out of the studios right now, and we'll be having the news in Lubarati next with Feta Emmanuel, and that marks the celebrations, the beginning of the celebrations for the Teachers' Day today. That is the 5th of October 2023, and we'll be moving to Eruba Primary School, where we'll be having that celebration for Arua City and Arua District. But also the one for Terego District is organized at Lezu Town Council. That is where they'll be having it. And also the teachers, let's stick to professionalism. The issues of having so many children and you cannot manage them is so bad. It's so bad, and it paints a bad picture on our reputation, but also when people see your children are not behaving well, and yet you are the only person who is respected in the society and the only educated person in your village, it becomes a burden to you. Because once you're educated alone in your society, you become, actually the community becomes your burden. Every time people want to consult you on certain things, people want to expect certain things like money from you. But if you educate so many people, you have so many people behind you, and you are able to share the little, you may not carry the whole burden of a society. So it is so important that we respect where we are, and we should be able to bear with the situation that we have. Once a teacher, you will die as a teacher. But also the local governments, let's team up and really support these teachers. The areas that were talked about, let's look forward and really see that we are able to really pay these peanuts to the teachers at the recommended time. Because once I have a little salary and I agreed to work and I worked for it, you should be able to really pay it, because that is my sweat. And it is also there to help me to educate my children. As I'm educating other people's children, I should be able to educate mine too. That is it. We're winding out from here. My name is Ramad Frederick. We appreciate you and meet you again tomorrow for the last edition of the Kokoliriko show for this week. I'm out of the studios. Thank you.
Thank you.